From New York, the Life Sciences 19th Annual Commencement. Featuring Principal Kimberly Swanson, Assistant Principal Steve Serling, Assistant Principal Steve Gahuli, Superintendent Vivian Orland, Executive Superintendent Marisol Rosales, Chancellor Richard A. Carranza, Senior Guidance Counselor Ashley Zaharakis, Life Sciences teachers, faculty, and staff, parents, guardians, families, and distinguished guests. And me, I'm your host, longtime performing arts director, music teacher, as well as the producer, creator, and organizer of this video, Harold Everton. Featuring special guest performances from Life Sciences' own award-winning senior band and advanced choir under my direction. And now, for the reason why you are all here today, to celebrate a group of students who defeated challenges like no other. Please rise for the candidates for graduation for the class of 2020 here at Life Sciences. of our national anthem as sung by Christopher Roque, graduating senior here at Life Sciences Secondary School.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Good afternoon. Please give a warm welcome to our principal, a principal who has worked tirelessly over the last 5 years to transform Life Sciences Secondary School into its current state. And that is an environment that supports the success of all of its members, students and staff alike. And as you can tell by the graduating class you see before you today, we deliver. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to our principal, Kimberly Swanson.
Before I give my remarks, I would like to take an opportunity to thank the Life Sciences Secondary School administrative team, our teaching staff, and our support staff, who have worked with our graduates for 4 years to ensure they were prepared for this day. During the past 4 months, I could not be more grateful for the teachers and guidance counselors in the school community. Shifting to remote instruction with less than a week to prepare seems like an impossible ask. However, despite the challenges, this staff rose to the occasion and continued to support our students in our new remote learning environment. This is truly a testament to the positive relationships STATS built with students prior to the pandemic and continued to nurture via Google Meet, phone calls, text messages, and social media. I would like to give a special shout out to Stephen Serling, Elizabeth Zapata, and John Miller for planning and coordinating all of our senior activities this year, both in person and remote. And to our senior guidance counselor, Ashley Zaharakis, who was back at work less than a week after giving birth to her beautiful daughter, Eliana, because she wanted to ensure that our graduates completed all of their required coursework and were supported with their post-secondary plans. I would also like to give a big thank you to Harold Everton. He has spent countless hours creating and editing this graduation video for our seniors. Although we could not celebrate all of you in person this year, he ensured you have the best possible virtual ceremony. Finally, I would like to thank our families. You have been the biggest supporters of our school community and our graduates, and I know they would not be here today without all of you. Class of 2020, you will always hold a very special place in my heart. You are graduating high school in the midst of a pandemic and during protests from coast to coast against police brutality and racism. Despite all of this, you are graduating, and I could not be more impressed with your perseverance during this moment in our country's history, a moment that will not be forgotten. While I'm disappointed that I did not get to spend the last 4 months of your high school years celebrating you in person, I will forever be thankful that I had the opportunity to learn from you and alongside of you over the past 4 years. Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie said, "Stories matter. Many stories matter." Many of you have sat at the table in my office and shared your stories with me. Stories of your experiences in school and at home. Stories of your experiences in your community and our city. You have come to me to advocate for yourselves and to share your future goals with me. You have shared your biggest challenges and your greatest successes. As I was stepping into the role of school leader, people often tried to tell me the stories of the students I would encounter, who you would be and what you would need. However, it has been the stories you told me with your own voices that have made me a better school leader and a better human. I am incredibly grateful and incredibly humbled that you trusted me enough to share so much of yourselves with me. I am grateful that I'm not the only person who has learned from your voices and from your stories. You are already using your voices to impact change in so many ways. You have affected change through your roles as student council leaders. You have facilitated and participated in courageous conversations about race with staff in our own school community. You've shared your experiences and made recommendations to help us better meet the needs of all of our students. You are leaving Life Sciences Secondary School in a better place than it was before you arrived. It is because of what our school community has learned from all of you that there are now more opportunities available to current and future students. As you head off to college, military, and careers, please know that your voices and your stories can also impact the future of our country in profound ways. I have also come to realize that as a white school leader, it is my responsibility to use my own privilege to create and provide opportunities to elevate and amplify the voices of my students of color. The purpose of graduation speeches is for notable people to provide context, meaning, wisdom, and advice to assist graduates as they cross this threshold between high school and the world of life. I would like to now invite two such notable people to our virtual stage, Christopher Roque and Talia Tabela, two students from the Life Sciences Secondary School class of 2020. I would like to share the time dedicated to my remarks to amplify their voices. Chris and Talia are just two of many students in this graduating class who are already using their voices in powerful ways.
Good afternoon, class of 2020, parents and staff. As some of you guys may know me, my name is Christopher Roque. I would like to start off by giving thanks to my family, especially my mom, for keeping me strong and pushing me to do the best at school and at home. I also want to let our teachers know how much they are appreciated for supporting us throughout these past 4 years. You have helped me to succeed. Finally, I want all my classmates to know that even though we have been through rough times, we have finally made it, and we did this together. These past 4 years have been exhausting. We have experienced a lot. We have witnessed school shootings and gun control debates, witnessed a reality personality become president, studied the effects of climate change that led to major fires in the Amazon rainforest, Australia, and California, and have been outraged by the deaths of people of color at the hands of police. As a class, we knew that we had to take action and make sure our voices could be heard. As the year began, we participated in a walkout to protest for stricter gun control laws, joined students from around the city to raise our voices in support of climate change, and most recently, used our platforms to take over social media for Blackout Tuesday and march and protest against police brutality. If we want to create change in our country, we must continue to protest, register to vote, and continue working together to make sure our voices are heard. I wish you all the best. Love you 3000. Roque out.
Good afternoon, class of 2020, parents and staff. My name is Talia Tabela. First and foremost, I want to begin by expressing my gratitude to my family. My mom and dad, my sister, and everyone else in my family who has supported me these last 3 years. Where do I even begin? It's been an extremely long year for all of us. We've missed out on some of the most memorable moments, down to things as simple as lunch with your favorite teacher or sitting on the beanbags in your counselor's office. For some of you, it was playing sports or doing those drills you love so much at practice, or those special moments after you win a game and you feel that rush of adrenaline. For others, it was hanging out with your English teacher after school and getting some one-on-one help with those essays that we live for. Due to the current pandemic, all of these times were short-lived. In a sense, we had to learn to be our own teachers. A lot of us struggled to adjust. Till this day, I know that I am. We had to explore new ways to learn, to lean on our teachers just a little bit less, and most of all, we finally had to learn that as a whole, when we work together, we are more likely to succeed. As hard as these past few months have been, we've come out stronger. We've grown into fine young men and women, found talents that we never knew we had, learned new skills that we will utilize in all of our future endeavors, and most importantly, found ourselves. Some of us have grown physically and mentally. We've learned to take better care of ourselves and that there's always room for improvement. I learned that it is okay to ask for help and that it is important to advocate for yourself. We were fortunate to have experienced these tough times with the best support team possible. My life sciences family has never failed me during my times of struggle. I am blessed to know that even after graduation, if I am ever in need, my teachers are just a phone call away and more than ready to offer me refuge in my moments of struggle, even though we may be miles apart. Although these may not be the grandest of gestures, they mean the world to me. Seeing how invested my teachers are in the well-being of their students has encouraged a great deal of change within myself because it's taught me that the smallest act of kindness can lead to bigger things. As Gandhi once said, "You must be the change you want to see in the world." Of that, I am a firm believer, especially during these times. Lately, we've become especially exposed to the injustices that exist within our country. Injustices made more apparent during this pandemic. Not only do these inequities discriminate against skin color, they also deny people human rights simply because of who they choose to love or the fact that they don't identify with the bodies in which they were born. With that being said, it is important for you to always speak your truth, fight for your rights, and most importantly, to never give up. Sincerely, your Vice President and Manager.
Thank you so much, Chris and Talia. Class of 2020, you are part of the most diverse generation in our nation's history. You are also one of the two generations, millennials and postmillennials, who currently make up over 1/3 of the voter-eligible population. I also know, through my conversations with you, that many of you do not believe the country is currently headed in the right direction. If you have ever wondered what it would be like to live in the civil rights movement and what role you would play, stop wondering. Right now, basic human rights are on the line for people of color, the LGBT community, women, and immigrants. I urge you to go out and vote. Let this country know what you want and what you believe in on the ballot. Please don't let your voices be silenced. Arundhati Roy said, "There is no such thing as the voiceless. There are only those deliberately silenced or the preferably unheard." If you speak up en masse with your voices and your actions, this country will have no choice but to hear you. I am asking you, each and every one of you, as you walk across this virtual stage today, to make a promise to continue using your voices and to continue telling your stories, because you are the leaders our country needs right now. Congratulations to the class of 2020.
Next, a message from our assistant principal, one of the newest members of the Life Sciences Secondary School community. And he brought along with him new ways to keep students engaged. You know him, you love him. Our assistant principal, Steve Serling.
Class of 2020, I know your senior year got cut short, but in the era of spin, I'm sure you will one day be able to tell your kids or grandkids that you were part of a graduating class with the longest senior skip day in U.S. history. In all seriousness, as you prepare to leave life sciences for your next journey, I will say I know many of the feelings you're experiencing right now. Although mine was by choice, I took a risk. I took a risk last year and left teaching at my former school, a place I called home for 11 years, and created close friendships. I was filled with both excitement and anxiety on my decision to leave and join life sciences, emotions I'm sure many of you are also feeling right now. But I quickly found that Life Sciences Secondary School is not just a school with four walls, but also a family. It is a place where students and staff feel comfortable to lounge and talk about life to each other on beanbag chairs, where students stay until the building permits end, hanging out in the lobby with our school safety agents, where staff gladly take a pie in the face from students to raise money for charity, where groups of students try and skip class on the third floor, taking duck lip selfies at that window, just because, "Mister, the light is just right." But it's also a place where we can have deep conversations about race and improve our school. It's a place in which students and staff show up to Grand Central Terminal to support our band and choir classmates. And just recently, it's a place where students sent in so many daily greetings to encourage their fellow classmates during the pandemic. And I can go on, and I've only been here for 1 year. If I never took the risk to leave my own comfort zone, I would not have been and met the wonderful people of LS3. I'm so happy to have joined, and I was so graciously welcomed, although I'm sure some of the snacks in my office helped. But look, it's hard to leave a place that you feel safe, feel comfortable, and enjoy. But with growth, change is needed. So take the things you learned from our amazing staff and the experiences from the traditions and activities from the past 4 years to create other needed positive communities wherever life may be taking you. Embrace the change, enjoy the new challenges, and remember that you will always be a Jaguar. I wish you nothing but the best and look forward to your visits with these wonderful stories. Congratulations, class of 2020.
And now a message from our guest speaker, New York City Council member Ben Kallos.
Greetings to your principal, Kimberly Swanson, teachers, staff, and parents. I'm Councilmember Ben Kallos. I'm here to fulfill one of my most important responsibilities, congratulating the 2020 graduates of Life Sciences. Now we must take a moment to recognize your amazing parents who have had to stop up even more than they already do, working overtime from home or risking their lives as essential workers, while learning how to use technology like Zoom and all the challenges that come with remote learning. You are doing something no one else has ever done before, attending school online and graduating during a pandemic. You've put in the work, you've learned your lessons that will equip you for the rest of your life, and no one can take that away from you. So congratulations to the class of 2020. You're graduating. Take a moment to reflect on all you've learned and grown. You will need every lesson you've learned to take on challenges that no generation has ever had to face before. Whether it is battling the next pandemic, killer hornets, climate change, gun violence, police brutality, your generation has led the way and will have to continue to lead the way. As an elder millennial and as your council member, it has been my distinct honor to support you and your generation as we hand you the baton in just a few short years as you become voters. Following advocacy from you, your principal and teachers, I've invested nearly $250,000 in after-school and laptops for Life Sciences. I hope you like getting to use them from home. You joined students from all over America, including peers in Parkland, leading a march for our lives, demanding gun control. You won the toughest gun laws in the country here in New York State. You're part of a movement of young people all over the world, including 15-year-old Greta Thunberg, who not only took part, but led a global climate strike. Following your leadership, I authored and passed a resolution declaring a climate emergency, making New York City the largest city on the planet to do so. Following the recent murder of George Floyd at the hands of the police, many of you have emailed, 90,000 and counting, and many more have taken to the streets chanting, "Black Lives Matter," and demanding a divestment from policing our children and instead investing in caring for our children. You've stayed home to flatten the curve, learning online, complete with the Zoom graduation. I'm not even going to talk about the killer hornets. You've already accomplished so much, and I can only imagine what you have in store. Your generation will be known as the next greatest generation.
And now, a special performance from our advanced choir, our award-winning advanced choir, directed by yours truly.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go.
So needless to say, hearts and hands. Oh, how we stumbling away. Slowly learning that love is okay. Say after me, it's no better to be safe than sorry.
Things that you say, hope is in a life for, just to play my worries away. You're all the things I can't remember, you're shining away. I'll be coming through anyway.
Okay, next up is a very brief but special message from someone who was instrumental in building life sciences into the powerhouse that it is today. And that person is none other than former assistant principal Derek Primo, who is now the principal at the Lower Manhattan Arts Academy.
Hey everybody, it's Primo, coming to you wishing the class of 2020 Life Sciences Secondary School congratulations on your graduation. It's been so rewarding in supporting you all these years, and it was really great seeing so many of you when you came to pick up your caps and gowns last week. I cherish all the memories we've had together at Life Sciences. I can remember our GSA breakfasts in the morning, all of the bake sales, all of our concerts, and our trips to Dorney Park together. I'm proud of you. I know your parents and families are proud of you, and I know you're proud of yourselves. You've worked hard for this moment, you've shown perseverance, and you've been resilient and overcome so many obstacles. And for that, we're all proud of you. Remember how hard you've worked for this moment and cherish the feeling that you feel right now. You're gonna need the energy and excitement from today to carry you on the next set of your journeys as you leave high school. Wherever you decide to go from here, be strong, be compassionate, and be yourselves. Until we can see each other in person, I wanted to say one more time, congratulations, LS3, class of 2020. Bye.
And now, please welcome to the stage the student in our school community with the second highest average, a 95. Please welcome everyone, our salutatorian, Melanie Aguilera.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First, I wanted to thank you all for joining me as we celebrate our big achievement of graduating high school. So, thank you for getting up, as I know some of you would have still been asleep at this time. I know I would have. With everything that is going on, whether it's this virus or police brutality, we are here today to try and celebrate us, to celebrate our big achievement of enjoying 4 long years of work and memories together. For some of you, you'll be the first generation to go to college. For others, the next person to continue striving. Even if you're not going to college, you should still be proud of all the accomplishments you have done throughout these 4 years. All the hardships that might have come along your way, distracting you from your best, are now nothing that can stop you. Unfortunately, we're unable to be next to each other physically, but through this stream, we're able to memorialize this moment and celebrate us, our big achievement. Of course, this is not what we all had hoped, but this is an opportunity to realize what you want for yourself. What is next for you? What is the next step? And what accomplishments do you want to accomplish next? As we end this chapter of our lives, I want the class of 2020 to enjoy their life to the fullest. So, as I end this speech, I want to congratulate the class of 2020. We did it.
Man, no matter who you are in the audience, I bet at one time in your life, you thought to yourself, if only I had access to a time machine. Especially with the things that have been going on, I would bet $1 million on that one. Well, now is your chance. Due to the hard work of our art director, Elizabeth Zapata, you guys now can relive the highlights of the last 4 years of your high school journey. Enjoy.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Damn, who knew? All the planes we flew, good things we've been through, that I'll be standing right here talking to you about another path. I know we love to hit the road and laugh, but something told me that it wouldn't last. Had to switch up, look at things different, see the bigger picture. Those were the days, hard work forever pays. Now I see you in a better place. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
It's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
First you both go out your way and the vibe is feeling strong, and what's small turn to a friendship turn to a bond, and that bond will never be broken, the love will never get lost. And when brotherhood come first, then the line will never be crossed. Established it on our own when that line had to be drawn, and that line is what we reach, so remember me when I'm gone. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side, and now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
Let the light guide your way. Yeah. Hold every memory as you go, and every road you take will always lead you home. Oh, it's been a long day without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Next up for me and many staff members, you cannot discuss Life Sciences Secondary School without bringing up our next speaker's name. And that person is a man who can be credited with building this school. His hard work never goes unnoticed. And that person, that individual, is Assistant Principal Steve Gilhooly.
Hello, graduates of Life Sciences. The year is 2020. I'd like to begin by thanking Mr. E for putting together, with a tremendous amount of effort and caring, this video montage celebrating your graduation. And although this year has probably not gone the way that you thought it would, please be mindful. You have witnessed probably one of the most important and significant and challenging years in the history of our nation. And as you celebrate your graduation today, also reflect on how you, in 2020, have had a front row seat and are witnesses to history. Congratulations to you all, and congratulations to your families and your friends. And enjoy and be successful in your future. Thank you.
And now for a message from the student with the highest average in Life Sciences Secondary School for the class of 2020. Welcome to the stage, valedictorian, Kajitna Kumarasivam.
Good afternoon, and congratulations to the class of 2020. We made it to the end of high school. I hope you are all proud of yourselves. Before I commence my speech, I want to start off by thanking my family who supported me, to my parents who came here with nothing but the clothes on their backs. I truly look up to you, especially my father who works so hard 24/7 so my siblings and I could have a better life and have less to worry about. Also, thank you to my siblings for always listening to me and being there for me, especially my older sister who not only helped me with schoolwork by bugging her to read over essays in which I probably had to rewrite the whole thing, but to also helping me ride the emotional and stressful roller coaster called high school. Thank you to my peers for learning with me. I would also like to thank all of my teachers. Without you, I would not be here given the amazing chance to represent the class of 2020, and I would have never taken challenges and risks that shaped me to the person I am today. Thank you all. Now, let me be honest and say, this is probably the most you'll ever hear me talk since high school started. But don't let that stop you from listening, and in return, I'll try to be as straightforward as possible. Although I hope to give my speech in person, I'm grateful to have been given this amazing opportunity despite unprecedented events. To start off, I want to take you all down memory lane, and I'm going to use a pencil, which I hope all of you are familiar with, to describe our high school adventures. We started high school in 2016. Our pencil is still new and unused. I remember the first time ever stepping into those halls in August 2016 for orientation. What I remember most from that day were the words, "You guys are 2020 perfect vision." We entered high school as the Ebola outbreak came to an end, and now we are graduating during the COVID-19 pandemic that put lives around the world to quarantine. We went from getting lost in these confusing halls to getting lost at the Bronx Zoo during freshman year. We even wrote poems and got our pictures taken for it. And for many of us, we joined clubs and sports that determined the friends we made and where we'd spend the next 4 years. After writing some more, now our pencil has written a small story that concludes our freshman year. It's only got shorter by an inch, and it still looks new. Sophomore year rolled around, and some of us stuck to clubs and went to in-school parties. We survived a whole school day at Trevor Day. We studied for PSATs only for it to get canceled and postponed by a snow day, and taking more Regents exams. During that year, all everyone did was compare all our school with the big one. We adjusted and shuffled around to assimilate and find where we belonged. Now, we are almost halfway done, and this pencil has gone through a lot, but it can still write some more. Here comes our junior year, the year of stress, and the first time we had a whole school courageous conversation day. And for me personally, this was a difficult year, as I remember late nights of crying over questions. The only one that knew were Khan Academy and the piles of paper with scribbles written in an unfamiliar language, sitting beside me. This is also the year many of us started thinking about colleges and the workforce, taking SATs or ACTs, and brainstorming where you wanted to go and what you wanted to do in your life. It was definitely difficult to find and understand these passions and the goals we had. But with the hard work and dedication we put, we ended up learning more about ourselves and at our senior year. This pencil can't write our college applications for us. It's almost short and at the end. But we used everything we had within ourselves and the accomplishments we made to tell our story to them. After February, we thought it was over until we had to complete so many financial aid applications. Now comes March of 2020, the month of many decisions rolling out, and with so much going on in the world. Heartbreaks may have happened while opening those emails and portals that said, application status update. We are still finding where we belong, so don't let rejections and waitlists define your character. After what we initially thought our senior year got ruined, I realized that we, class of 2020, is strong and indestructible. To the many walkouts our school participated in, most of us being born during the aftermath of 9/11 and overcoming this pandemic. I know why we are called Perfect Vision. Not because of this coincidental year, but because we are strong no matter what gets thrown at us. We are one tough class that can fight anything. Nothing will break our sight or blur our vision to the finish line as we are entering this new world of adulthood. I know each and every one of us will shine a light even when it's dark. We've overcome so much as high school students. Although our life is getting started, the unforeseen events that happen to us should show that we are ready for anything. We tried to find our place when we first got to high school, and now we are leaving our mark as we leave high school and enter a brand new world. The pencil has written its final chapters, and now we are getting ready to start off a new part of our lives, so use all the pens and pencils you can. We are all adults now, and whether you're going to college, the workforce, or whatever you plan on doing, we are all learning to be independent. No more mannequin challenges from freshman year, but more exploring and challenging yourself. Our last day to walk those halls as students, our last time eating school food, our last high school test, our last time hearing morning announcements and school bells that woke students up. We did not know it would be our last, and that showed us that life throws surprises. March 13, 2020 may have been our last day, but today is our first day of being adults. I know none of us are the same person we were 4 years ago, and I hope we continue to learn and be the best person we can ever be. I may not be qualified to give advice, but one thing I encourage you is to do what makes you happy. We all strive to achieve and maintain happiness, so listen to your heart and don't put yourself down. We may not have gotten to live out our dreams by walking across the stage just yet, but just know that we still graduated, and that in turn is a huge accomplishment that we must acknowledge and take pride in. Now this pencil has finished writing high school. As I am making my final remarks, know that this is not the last pencil. Use the next ones to go make your mark on the world. I believe in you. Here's another pencil. Use it to write your next story. Thank you and congratulations to the class of 2020.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as you already know, Life Sciences has long had a strong arts program. Next up, you're going to hear from our award-winning senior band class under the direction of yours truly.
2, 1, 2, ready, go.
Okay, everyone, hold on to the edges of your seats. If you are a student, you know how much hard work it took to get to this point. As a special thanks, sit back and enjoy some messages from some very special guests.
Hello, graduating seniors. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar here. The dedicated staff of Life Sciences Secondary School have told me what an exceptional group of students you are and how excited they are for your next steps in life. Everything you've been through these past few months with the pandemic and the protests has taught you lessons you might have only read about in school about how much responsibility each of us has to be a force for good and change in our communities. Whether it's social distancing when you'd rather be crowded together with your friends, or just tweeting support for those seeking social justice, you are already making a difference. And that's something you and your teachers can be proud of. All my best to you.
Yo, what's up, y'all? It's Mike Duranian Jr., aka Tariq from Power, and I want to give a big shout out to the Life Sciences Secondary School class of 2020 for graduating. I know y'all senior year was cut short, but y'all still got the power to succeed. Go Jaguars, and all y'all stay blessed.
Okay, and now a special message from one of the hardest working women in life sciences. Seniors, your guidance counselor, Ashley Zaharakis.
Ms. Z calls her students her kids, because in our time together, we become more than just a class list. They become a piece of her heart. To my kiddos, aka the most memorable class of 2020, my heart is so incredibly proud of your fight and determination to push through in the midst of the most challenging, devastating, and heartbreaking times our schools and country have ever seen. There isn't anything I can say that will give you back the moments that were taken away from you, but I can express how focusing on your future is in your control. I wanted to share with you a little something that my favorite professor, Louis Hernandez, also a high school counselor, shared with me on my last day of class. I remember saying, "Thanks, Professor H. You were awesome sauce, and I absolutely loved learning from you." He turned and looked at me and said, "Well, the key to life is to keep what you got, you have to give it away." I wasn't quite sure what he meant by that at first, and it wasn't until my first year as a school counselor that I understood. To keep what's important in our lives and to make a difference, we have to share what we are most passionate about. The great thing about that is that it can take on so many different forms, both in our personal lives and in our professional realm. Many of you know things that you are passionate about, such as the arts, education, equity, and advocating for what is right. And for several of you, this next chapter is going to be one heck of a time. Sometimes the best way to figure out what we want to give away is to remember the people that have made a difference in our lives. With that, I want to thank all the staff, teachers, administration at Life Sciences who give of themselves and give their gifts 110% every day. As all of you know, Ms. Z had a little Z last month, and my promise to you in the midst of all of this is to keep your memory with me at all times and to fight for what is right and to be an example of perseverance in the face of darkness, because that is what all of you represent to me. Love you. Love, Ms. Z.
And now a student who's been a significant fixture here at Life Sciences Secondary School in our arts community, singing My Way, Senior Christopher Roque.
And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full, I've traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do and saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall, and did it my way. I've loved, I've laughed and cried, I've had my fill, my share of losing, and now, as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that. And may I say, not in a shy way, oh no, not me, I did it my way. For what is a man, what has he got, if not himself? Then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who kneels. The record shows I took the blow and did it my
If there's any teacher in our building who can connect well with just about any student, it's our next speaker. Director of One Goal at Life Sciences Secondary School, Edna McCants.
Congratulations, class of 2020. One Goal, I love you guys so much, and I just want to say congratulations. I am so proud of you guys. Even though you are going through this trying time, you still put your best foot forward in order to succeed. Remember all of the tools and strategies that I've showed you guys, and you guys have been learning for the last 2 years. One Goal, I am so proud of you. From Miss McCants.
And now a message from a student who's been with us since the 6th grade here at Life Sciences Secondary. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Wakeel Wilkerson.
First off, I want to start by saying the class of 2020 is the best class that ever was to walk through our building. We have gone through so much, and it really proved that we can take on anything that comes our way trying to stop us. I wasn't the best student behavior-wise or academic-wise, but I always had a good heart. School was hard for me because I didn't apply myself to my studies like I should have, slacking on assignments, not wanting to go to class, making excuses for everything, and not getting stuff done in general. I've been at Life Science Secondary School since the 6th grade, trying to grow bonds with teachers and staff and anything possible to make it easier for me. I'm trying to learn how to survive in LS3. And what I learned from that was to be yourself. The focus with a lot of hard work will drive you to greatness, things you didn't even know you could do. As a freshman, I wasn't LS3 if y'all didn't know. I was a Wings Academy student, but something just didn't sit right with me in my gut, so I decided to come back the following year. Once I came back to LS3, everything just felt normal, and that's where I messed up. comfortable. I was too comfortable in my environment and needed to be shooken out of that. And there was a select few that challenged me to break out of that state of mind. Miss McCants, Miss Shield, Baptrice, Miss Z, Mr. X, and a few more. They saw that I had the smarts, talents, and things to get done when needed. That all I need was to push myself, focus, and work hard. See, those two words came back around again. I realized that every last senior could really achieve so much if they just use those two words every day. During these last few days of the market period, even the last 2 days we had after the fact, showed me that you guys are go-getters. You know what you want, but all you need to do is stop playing with your food and go get it. And stop letting things like friends distract you, because 9 times out of 10, they really don't be your friends. And now you don't. And now you gotta move dolo, sorry. Whew. I've watched groups, relationships from the 10th grade slip away coming to the next year, and now they don't even talk, or no one feels like the other one, or someone feels like the other one's moving funny. But it's not that, they just found their own path before you did, and didn't see themselves growing to be better with you or around you. And if it wasn't that, then it just wasn't your man's. What I'm going to miss about being a part of this community is the bond and the family that I grew with so many people. Going to miss walking to school with a bad mindset and coming out with a great one. I just miss school, and now I know y'all do too. It sucks that our senior year got cut early and we can't do things that we've been planning to do for years. Like no prom. That sucks really bad, because I know a lot of people that like really wanted prom king, best dress and stuff like that. Or had the best fit, best pop off of prom. But you guys kept pushing to get out of high school even with this pandemic going on. Like me right now, I'm still trying to get Miller work done while typing this speech. I want to give a huge shout out to Miss McCants, my mommy number 2, for understanding how much us one-go students need your help. And for you never giving up on us means the world to every single last one of us. You showed us so much in a matter of 2 years. And always kept us on our toes walking to your class, never knowing when the next EOP, HEOP, TAP, or FAFSA test was. Being a mom to almost 30 kids is hard, but you found a way to show all of us the love that we needed even when our parents wasn't. And I thank you for that. On behalf of One Goal, we love you dearly with all our hearts and can't wait until we can come back to school and visit you. And Miss Shield, you watched me, David, Joseph, and Aunt graduate. Well, Aunt who graduated Florida, grow up since 7th grade. I know we're a handful at times, but you held it down and never turned your back on us, even when we made you want to so many times. And I thank you for that. Inside joke, I'm getting away from the crazy alone. To Miss Z, you just officially came around us this year, and if I can speak for the ones that know, you are a true lifesaver. Most of us would not be able to get where we needed for college done without you. And thank you for being here for all those students when they needed a shoulder to cry on. It had to save the male for last, but my man Reggie Baptrice, the short bodybuilder. Man, you don't understand how you were a father figure to me and a lot of others. Even the ones that you didn't call son or daughter. You made our last year active, and that's facts. We did everything we could to make this year a movie. It sucks that we couldn't take home the chip this year for basketball because we definitely had a squad, but hey, it is what it is. To my family that walk beside me every day, I love y'all, no joke, and you know we're in this together for life. I hope everyone has fun and is safe in college or whatever the path you decide to take on after high school. Because now, we did it, with focus and hard work. Welcome to the real world. I love you all in the class of 2020. Congratulations. You're officially going to college.
All right, it's been going on a little long, but not as long as you guys have been home. We're now ready for the second most anticipated moment during this ceremony, and that is the presentation of your diplomas. And now, Principal Swanson, I turn over to you, the graduating class of 2020.
Ladies and gentlemen, by the power vested in me by the Board of Regents of the State of New York and the Department of Education of the City of New York, I certify that the students before me have satisfactorily completed all of the requirements for graduation with a high school diploma and are now graduates. Graduates, you may now join me in the time-honored tradition and turn your tassel from right to left. We now invite all of the participants to unmute yourselves so you can give a big cheer and clap for graduating.
We did it!
Homeworks I did for you.
I can say
homeworks I did, man. You did it.